We are here for another episode of the Nerds of the Round. It is your boy, Tone, from across the hall, joined with me, as always,
Sebastian.
Your boy Law.
And we are here to discuss My Hero Academia, Heroes Rising, the second movie.
Let's go.
And as always, we will be discussing spoilers, a.k.a. Tony Stark dies. So let's get to it. So there were certain points in this movie where we had to stare at Lawrence to see how he was reacting, and it was totally worth it.
Did I do good?
Oh yeah. Like the scenes where I knew it was going to happen, I was like, it's happening.
Overall, I think it definitely helped bridge what would be the next season, whatever we get from it. Because you're saying officially this isn't part of any manga, so I would love to see this, be canon. I'm sure it is, because it did so well. All the narrative made sense. You see everyone's progression, not only in ability but their growth as heroes or how they interact. It was man, there's nothing but good things about it. And I think a lot of especially those kids are going to be pivotal later on.
Oh, the twins?
Yeah.
Okay.
I see them for sure somehow being integral in some part of the future for especially Midoriya.
Yeah, what I liked about it, so it's cool that we've now seen 3 children directly affected by Deku.
Yeah.
And seeing what they eventually do in their future. But it was nice to see a child cheer on and look up to Bakugo. With the girl, which I thought was pretty, everyone hates on Bakugo because he's a but he still wants to be a hero. Him and Deku are opposite sides of the same coin, right. And just seeing someone someone cheer for him and get that
is more akin in some ways to Endeavor. I feel like he's very he's a blunt
he cares for people, because if you notice with the second season, what they did, the whole thing with the kids. He already knew who the leader was and all that, what they had to do with the kids and everything, that whole pre-training course. So it was kind of a leadership role for him right there.
Part of this season.
Yeah.
And then
the provisional license part.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But then in the movie, you see the hero shine through him in his own way. It's no, I'm going to be better than the number one hero. Yeah. I'm going to be me. I don't just want to be the number one. I want to be better, because that's his whole shtick.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just, you had this character that looked up to him because he showed in the movie a lot of great hero moments.
I've seen the dub and the sub. So the first time I saw it around was the dub. And just watching this film, watching it unfold, and then seeing everyone around me.
The same energy and
it had the same. Look, I'm not a fan of the voice. It's just not my thing. But it had the same energy. It was just I'm watching this anime movie, and it's just full on weeb, and it's just I'm getting really into. I'm getting really in. You're getting it. You're getting the goosebumps, and then there are people around us that are cheering. There was this one dude that was next to us, him and his boy were going up and down. They were just going nuts. It was an awesome experience. It was like watching a Marvel movie in that opening night. I mean, and so what you to your point, Sebastian, just saying how it's a good entry. It definitely was. It felt you don't even have to watch My Hero, and it's so self-contained, which I loved about. Well, I think both Two Heroes and this one did a really fantastic job of just having self-contained stories in this big universe, and you can just go in. You don't need to know anything, and you can kind of just watch it and get it. You don't have to be you don't have to be involved with all the characters, and you kind of get exactly.
But those stories can add to the universe.
Yeah,
but they don't. But by you not watching them, you're not losing anything.
Yes. That's the other thing I want to add is even with this, there are 20 students in that class. The way they juggled each and every student, everyone got burned in this movie. Mm-hmm. So it's again,
you're giving them burn, but you're
showcasing their personalities. You're showcasing them. You're showcasing their innocence. You're showcasing what each and every one of them are going plus ultra and being a hero. Everybody shined, and you didn't lose. I feel in movies that juggle a lot of characters, there are movies that lose characters. This didn't.
Yeah,
it didn't at all.
Every character at the moment.
A lot of times, we've seen Shoto be very on par with most villains that we've seen him against. in a way. This was the most that I was like, yo, I hope my boy makes it. Like,
well, the thing with
you know what I mean? Like,
well, the thing with Shoto too is that he has this, and it's gone now, and where in the movie where the setting of the movie is, but he has such this internal conflict of who he is.
Yes,
with his mother and his father, and just finding a way to get the most out of his power. Because that whole thing of like that pinpointing, like he learns that, and then he just decides to do the opposite of it.
Right,
but just. He's able to get past that when he's able to train with his father, even though he doesn't call him dad or he doesn't have this loving relationship. Right. He realizes that I need to learn from him. I'm not going to get better if I don't learn from him. Right. If I don't kind of see what his world is like.
Right.
So you see that growth while it's not shown in the anime. You still see that growth, that something does happen to him where he's able to have that moment.
I love the way they always approach the villains in the story. They're not straight cookie cutter type villains in terms of the goals of what they're looking for, because they all followed 9 for some reason, because they were all outcasts. 9 obviously he wanted to run a world where it was just the powerful ruled, but yet he made sacrifices to get there.
I see a lot of 9 cosplays happening in the future.
Definitely,
like design. Dope.
Definitely dope. Mummy had a cool design too.
Mummy had a really, but I feel like if, as far as like goals, like for villains, Stain and 9 are very like akin in that way, because they may, looking at it from a certain perspective, you may think like what the hell is it? What's wrong with them? But they have such a following because their message is that strong. Like, you can't really write bad villains in this anime. I feel like
they paid attention to a lot of detail in the characterization of these characters.
Whose newest ability or power up that you saw that you like?
It was loved? You know what it was. I was really into when Yurika and Sero were able to like work together with him using his tape and then her using the gravity. I just thought like there's so much synergy between all these characters. Yeah. They really,
that was a great tag team right
there.
That was
like, you really see them like getting into their quirks and using them together to form a team and to accomplish a goal, whether that's getting 9 to use all of his powers or to do something, and then just seeing it unfold. It's top notch, because it gets you excited to see these characters like use their powers.
Red Riot, we saw it in this season that he got really strong, but I think like he's gotten so much better in between this past season and the movie. I saw, at least for me, saw a lot of growth.
Like, he's gotten confident. Like, after that moment he had in the Yakuza with Fat Gum, he got confident into why he's becoming a hero and why he's looking up to who he's looking up to. Because you see that he wasn't as confident for he was, because he felt like he felt his quirk wasn't all there. And I think it's really what the show does really well, is you have characters who have OP quirks. Like, Baku has just an OP quirk just from the jump. And you've got other folks who don't have an OP quirk, or it's kind of like weird. And you find these characters really use it and grow with it, which is, I think, why everyone loved Lemillion, because his quirk is really fucking hard, and you don't think it's like OP, but then his training with Night Eye is what made him OP.
Like, the fact that he has to hold his breath in order to use his quirk is like, yo, you just got all these hands, and your boy held his breath the whole time?
Yeah. And
Bro, but he also had all these other quirks, because when he was stealing people's quirks, it was quirks that were beneficial to him. And that's what made him even more OP as a character.
Yeah, because he doesn't use his natural quirk a lot. He only used it that one time in the end.
Because it just eats away his body.
It just eats at him. But all his other quirks, his shield quirk, the wind using quirk, the lasers, and you got the blue eyes white dragon coming out of his back.
The only reason why I was slightly comfortable was because I knew that you can't kill main characters
now in this movie,
right? I was like, oh man, like they're gonna pull some like wild and be like, oh yeah, by the way, this was Daiku's hero moment, how he became the number 1 hero. Lights out.
No, they weren't gonna kill
Bro, they weren't gonna do that.
You can't kill Daiku. This is making Shonen so much money.
He's their new.
They would have tried to revive him,
pull some Dragon Ball Z, get his soul back type of
They're like, we gotta borrow the Infinity
they
Gauntlet.
got a quirk for that.
Yeah, they got a quirk for that. Exactly. They'll use Aerie. They'll bring her. If you can turn back time. So when we were watching the film at the Alamo, I told Lawrence, "Listen, whatever you think is the height, it's not, and you will get to the height." And you will know exactly where the pinnacle of this film goes.
Right.
Like he's watching, because I'm watching his reaction. He's going into I'm like, dude, you're not even close. You're not even close.
It's like, not
Just
yet.
wait. Like every time you see something, it's like, OxyClean. But wait, there's more.
Like, yo, you gotta understand, my jaw was so wide open at some of these fights because the level that they took all these fights and all these kids and all these quirks, I was like, yo, somebody's gonna die. Like, I was like, two heroes. Everything leading up to that fight was a very like A and B. Mm-hmm. Where this was like so many levels to get to that last moment where you're just like, boom, 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 and then as soon as you like try to catch your breath,
because it's like, what
they
the
hit you again.
It's like what can they do? But that goes back to what Deku was talking to the little boy too, is that everyone has their own reason. Like, I'm, someone's there to fight the bad guy.
Right.
I'm there. I want to be a hero because I want to save everybody. I want to make people laugh and smile.
But they all align.
But they all align. And I think, you just got constant callbacks here.
Yeah.
You see Deku's like, oh, I have a crazy idea. And then you see it goes to the hand and you hear him talking about what he had said with All Might, and they grab hands and you're like, what in the